Hello, welcome to Depi, the English version and reactions from the epic encounter between Indonesia menghadapi atau melawan atau against the giants of Asian football, Japan. It was some sort of a reality check for Indonesia, beaten at home 4 goals to 0, and a very impressive performance from the Blue Samurai. And in the studio, we have Firzi, we have Kiko, and Ali to discuss about what happened in the match that we just saw. And for Japan, another impressive away win and edging ever so close towards the World Cup 2026 qualification. And they will almost certainly perform in America, Mexico, and where's the other place? The other one? Canada. Okay, so Firzi, your reaction towards the match. It was a great start from Indonesia. Golden opportunity for Ragnar Oratmangun to give the lead, but it didn't happen. And after that, of course, Japan they just turned up they tweaked their performance and started to go crazy on that Indonesia backline.
Yeah, I think it's the brutal reality of this round. I think it's the brutal reality of coming up against the number ranked 15 in the world, in the sense that you got to take your chances. It's a cliche thing to say, but it is the truth. And Japan was brutal to us. Like the way they scored their goals, they're so clinical with their finishing. They capitalize us on our mistakes. I think the result itself is we kind of expect Japan will score a lot of goals, but after seeing how we play, I think 0-4 is too kind for Japan in the way that I think the way Rizky Ridho said it well after the match in the pitch interview. He said we didn't deserve to lose 0-4 because the overall play was good, but then there's some individual mistakes that led to perhaps 2 or 3 goals that Japan scored. Maybe we can force Japan to work harder. Our players, I mean, in the first half with Kevin, I would say he's winning his battle with Mitoma because he made Mitoma look very, very cautious when he's traveling up in the field, but then we lost him in the 40th minute because of injuries. And still after the match, Coach Shin in the press conference still waiting for the full report on his condition. I think 0-4 at least. When it comes down to the battle between us, Bahrain, and China, we are the team that lost the least against Japan, because we know Bahrain lost 0-5, and then China, they lost 0-7 in Japan. So going forward, I hope we can do better.
The result doesn't seem to picture the whole match. The way we started very well, and then the debut of Kevin Dix was going according to plan in terms of defending Mitoma very well. But then an injury, I think it's a knee injury, and whether it's a precaution or not to take him off in the first half, we have to see the results from the test. And I think we need him. It was a great debut for a guy who has so little time to train with the side and to be integrated with the side. But the way that finishing at this level is so crucial, Kiko, and we always seems to fail in this aspect. And it happened again with Rafael Strike, a massive chance from a great pass from Kevin Dix, and the way that Ragnar Oratmangun was sent clean through. But the decision making is just not there at the moment.
No, I agree. I think, well, first of all, with Kevin Dix, I agree, because he helps not just defensively, but offensively as well. You see some dangerous crosses going in. Unfortunately, we couldn't capitalize. There was one in the far post where it was just, I guess, a couple of inches off, and such a shame to see him off very early. But I feel like it's been a while seeing us not clinical in front of the goal, and you saw that again with Ragnar Oratmangun. You would have hoped he would score the goal. Japan made a mistake leading to that possession as well, and I think we played really well in the first, I guess, 30 minutes, and then after that, when we got 2 past us, it just seemed like just downfall kept going on, like passes going from the middle. It was just beautiful football by Japan. We can't really argue with that. But yeah, I think we need to, because it's a game of margins. You make the smallest errors, you pay like a goal. You know, that's what happened. So we need to finish. We need to, make less mistakes. So yeah.
Tactically, the approach was I think very positive from Shin Tae-yong, starting front foot again, creating a lot of situations in that midfield towards the attacking end for Indonesia. But then, is it psychologically for our team? Because when we were down 2-0, it looks like mentally the players, a couple of them switched off.
Yeah, so physically indeed. But before that, allow me to disagree. But Japan being brutal for us, I disagree with that. We allow Japan to do more in our area. They play simple football, very simple football, not that sophisticated play, not play, multi-layer football, toward our goals. No, they play simple. When they want to play in the low block, they play low block. When they want to play advance, they just leave one midfield, usually Wataru Endo, and they let other player. You can pump the player inside the box. But yes, it's a physically and psychology defeat for us, because yes, the third goal I'm not going to talk more about the first and the second goal. Yes, it's happened in football, but the third and fourth goal, when players like Jay Itzes and Martin Pas do something, I'm not going to say silly, but it's not a schoolboy error. We have to remember again, the stake is very high for us. So error happened in football, but the stake is too high for us, and it's happened. And the fourth goal, the Southampton Sugiwara. We don't cover the player that much, and we allow him to bang the goal like that. The rest is we don't have, let me say, we don't show any plan B or plan C. We just like a through ball or long ball to our flank, and hope that we can receive and do something in their opponent area. But yes, we have some. I agree with Kiko. In the first 15 minutes, we have 2 or 3 goal scoring opportunity that again and again and again, like Firzi said, is so cliche. We say it again about our, clinical attempt in the opponent goal. But what do we need? Every game, throw inside the ball, from throw in from Arhan. Even Japan's side, I forget it's from the coach or Wataru Endo said, one thing that very dangerous for Indonesia is their throw in, and we show the first throw in from Arhan. Almost we scored a goal, but again we didn't. But after all, Japan is not very brutal for us. We allow them to do much in our area, and we defeat in a psychological match.
No, I think what I mean by being brutal is how they finish the chances. It's not about how their overall play. I mean, I compared how they took their chances and how we did try to took our chances. It's not comparable. I mean, with Sugiwara, he scored from a very, very tight angle, and with Morita, he definitely punishes just the slimest mistake from our defenders. And Mitoma, when he gave that, I don't know, after Jakob tried to cut out that pass and he miscontrolled it, Mitoma just in the process of, I think it's the second goal, if I'm not mistaken. But the message from Jaitzes from the mix zone is we lost today, but we never surrendered. I think that's a good message from our captain. I think he's a big player for us. And with today's match, the way that the pitch it is as it is, even he can make a mistake while he trying just to control a simple ball. I think we need that sharp number 9. I think we need that finisher. Of course, Zion Suzuki. Well, he is performing well after his move to Parma, but I think he's not that unbeatable keeper. Although we know that Japan has just conceded one goal, and I think in like from the second round to the third round, just against Australia, I think we need that number one striker. I think we need a number 9. I think with Ole Romani. Yeah, he's in the stands. He's got 12 goals and 8 assists for NSC Nijmegen. So I think maybe he will solve the number 9 position, because I think Coach Shin doesn't really fancy, for better or worse, what we have right now in the front, because going forward we only change our flank players, not our number 9. We put Arhan is now a right winger under Coach Shin. So maybe with a bit more finishing, I think this is a lesson for us in this like round 3, very, very hard.
For the start of the game, there's a slight change to the formation. I think Shin Tae-yong playing with a 5-4-1.
Yeah.
And what's so smart about Coach Hajime Moriyasu is he always states that his team doesn't have that specific DNA. His team adapts to the opponent. And it happened again in this match. The start was a bit rough, and then they adapt, and then they change their situation in that midfield. And the interchange of 4 or 5 players in that midfield is just brilliant. And the way that Mitoma now and Ritsudoan can interchange, crossing each other's path towards the opposite end. And then when the attack is not going very well, they defend in the midfield area, not in the flank. So this is, again, a situation where it is very fluid in that midfield. And Japan adjusts to the opponent. And Tom Hai and Nathan Cho can even deal with the fluidity of that movement in that midfield. And a couple of days ago, I stated here in the Indonesian version that midfield activity will be key. I thought Nathan Cho can be the guy who can provide that more speed and agility-wise. He is better than the others, but it doesn't show in the game that we just saw.
Well, he tried his best. Him and Tom Hai tried his best, but we know that Tom is playing in a relegation threatened team in Eredivisie right now, whereas Nathan, I don't think he's still got a game time with Swansea.
Only at whereas Cup,
whereas Morita, he's a starter for Sporting Ruben Amorim in the Champions League. Endo, we know his qualities, even though he's not a regular starter right now for Liverpool. But that just shows the gulf in class. And then you talk about Ritsudoan, you talk about Minamino, you talk about all the other players. Maeda, when he came in, he's also full of energy, the way he runs through our defenses. I think
with new hair.
Also with a new hair. He has hair. I didn't realize he has hair now.
I met her.
I met him at the airport. You stopped interrupt. We know that from the start that Japan doesn't have their 3 center backs, their 3 number 1 center backs, and then when we got that chance, that first chance, I think Coach Shin said in the press conference that maybe if Ragnar scored the goal, it will be a different game.
Of course,
I think, but I think like Japan will win, but I think not as the dominant as it is in the scoreline, because gameplay wise, I think we tried our best, but after Nathan and Tom, like in the 70th minute and everything, and Jordi came in, I think his range of passing is really good.
Wow!
But he lacks the mobility, and he lacks the dynamism.
No.
Especially in midfield. I think he doesn't have that dynamic movement in midfield. So maybe we also have that problem in central midfield. But I think with Ivar coming back in, I hope that rectifies a few things.
Let me add. Yes, I agree with Firzi about we has to be very clinical in the opponent goal. But mistake or the chance that we got is not. We not make a lot of chance. So every chance that we made, we have to finish it. Because we know that we cannot create that much. So in this stage of a World Cup qualification, we have to, as much as we can, as we could, to clinch every chance that we got. We cannot being okay, being fine that Orat Mangun doesn't do much better than that. We have to say, if that's bad, that's bad. We cannot being permissible to say okay, we know that we have a huge gap with Japan, but what Japan did with us, we cannot do same with them. If we more clinical, we do like you said before, our midfield, they easily stretch Tom Haye and Nathan and do through pass, like a hot knife in the butter, just between them and do more. We cannot do that. Yes, against Saudi, if we not fix our our finishing, and we not fix our midfield, I have to say same mistake. We can do much better than this. We have to fix it.
Yeah, we have to figure out how that midfield situation with the overload coming centrally in the match against Japan. Japan was dominating because of that overload. We didn't see that against Australia. They were a bit one-dimensional, attacking from the flanks, and this is something that changes very rapidly for Japan in the game against Indonesia. And how do you see Wataru Endo? This guy, he only he made like 5 substitute appearances for Liverpool, but then there is a lot of conversation between him and Hajime Moriyasu, and in terms of positioning and how he is the player that Hajime will use in away matches, and his quality is permanent, as you can see in the game, how he dictates the play, controls the rhythm for Japan, and creates that sort of protection, because Makeda and Itakura, a lot of mistakes between the two of them that can go straight to the back line, and in terms of quality of finishing is a problem, but a lot of situations uncomfortable for the defenders, and Endo is there to cover. And how do you see the performance of Endo as a Liverpool fan?
Well, I mean, we saw that with him last year. A lot of his plays were from that same position, and in the game you don't see him run so much. He's playing efficiently, and I think singling out these Japanese stars one by one. You can't, they're all playing as a team. You say you're Wataru Endos, you say you're Junya Itos, you say you're whoever it is. Like, they just play so good. They're so disciplined. It makes the smallest mistake so easily to cover by Wataru Endo, and he just passes. He just passes in, passes out, and look, that itself already stretches the midfield. They're not even running that much, and that's the deadly part about Japan today, where, like you said, the pass just went through like a hot knife on a hot butter right away.
Knife through butter.
Sorry for the problem.
No, it's all right. Knife through butter. But Stretch Jade says his legs. I think the first goal was that happened, that pass happened, and then the turn happened. You wouldn't expect that. I would say it was a fluke goal, but they're trained to get leverage from the smallest mistakes, the smallest margins, like I said. So playing efficiently, covering and everything, it's what they do as a team, not just with Endo, I think. So, but he's a captain for a reason. That's why they give him that calmness as well. So that's what I think.
So sorry. So Wataru Endo is not just a player who can only doing back pass. No. So for you saying that,
I didn't say that.
In everywhere, saying Endo only can do back pass. Please hear this guy. He's a brilliant player.
He is. No, he is. Yeah.
And the starters for Indonesia, Fiozi. Players like Jakob Sayuri.
Wow.
And playing Hubner in that midfield area.
Yes.
Was it the right approach for Shin Tae-yong to play him in that midfield in trying to cover up for the defenders? And what do you think about Jakob Sayuri? I think he was brilliant. But of course, there's a few mistakes in his game. But again, the way that he progresses the ball, very positive movements towards the Japanese backline. So I think this is another player that Shin Tae-yong trusts, and whenever he is fit, he will play.
Of course. And that right wing forward position is, I think, Coach Shin likes to trust that position to the local domestic players, like Malik Rizaldi got that chance over there. Egi, Witan, they all got chances over there. And Jakob, I think, with his pace, with his dynamic play, he can he can run through the Japanese players, make them a problem on that flank, as we see in the 15-20 minutes. But after that, his impact on the game is starting to fade, and that's normal, I think. With Japan also made of quite a few changes that inject energy into the squad. I think this lineup, I think Coach Shin doesn't make a mistake like what he did in against China. I think this is his best available lineup, and putting Kevin Dix over there to cover Mitoma, I think, is the right call. With Justin coming back in, he's always a regular starter for Coach Shin, and Nathan in the midfield is an expected change. I think not a lot of changes there. Yeah, but Verdong in the left wing, it's as we expected in the media. A lot made a prediction for the formation, and it is exactly as it is. But the game can be so different if Ragnar scores that goal, and if Kevin doesn't got injured in the 40th minute, maybe we can fare better. But Sandy, being Sandy, he's just Mr. Reliable on that flank, I think. Yeah, but the challenges is so big against the pace of Mitoma, and then Maeda, when he came in, he attacked that flank. So I think with the second game coming in, we tried to be aggressive. I think this is a better attacking performance than when we go up against Japan in the Asian Cup, because in that game in the Asian Cup we almost created nothing. Marcelino, when he came in, I think he did well. He defended well. He tried to circulate the ball well, but the quality from Endo and Morita in midfield is just maybe a step too big, a bridge too far for our players. Yeah.
You know what I like though about today about Jakob Seri? It's the first time ever he probably got paired with not probably, but that's the first time he plays with on Kevin, the same side as Kevin Dix. And they're rotating quite well, to be honest, because sometimes you see Jakob in the defense. I mean, at some point, Kaoru Mitoma got a yellow card. You know, at that point where
off the ball incident.
Exactly. The
high elbow.
Yeah, exactly. So, but their rotation was quite nice. He was able to stop Kaoru Mitoma for a couple of times. So that's a good sign, to be honest. That's what I like about Jakob Seri today, despite his mistake. So, yeah.
And the way Indonesia is starting matches, very positive on the front foot. There is a situation where Shin Tae-yong can choose to be negative. He can choose to be solid defensively, and of course the impact will be offensively. We will not offer a lot of movements there. Australia took this approach against Japan, playing very negative with the double low block, I think, that they performed at the Saitama. They got the result, but I don't think the Socceroos fans were impressed with the start of the Popovic era in
Australia.
A certain way. Well, when Australia has a lot of offensive players, but they are playing defensively. But in this match, Indonesia didn't start defensively. But again, this is a high-risk situation where Indonesia doesn't come out very good with the result. But what do you see about this approach? Tend to attack teams such as Japan, Saudi Arabia. Against Saudi in Jeddah, it worked.
First of all,
with the early goal.
I'm not going to be so much negative about our performance, but we know that we've witnessed in the first 15 minutes we doing very positive football. We pump the player inside opponent's box. We do as much as we could. But Japan's really well at reading our game. When we defend, we play our defense really, really low. That's why Japan doesn't need long pass through ball. No, just playing, short passes, one to play, and force us to make an error, and we did multiple times, and punish us really, really hard. So we don't want to play defense. We don't play very negative. And for me, it's very brilliant. Coach Shin choose, the play like. We don't have to play defense, because what I see, if we play positive football, we make mistakes also. We can make mistakes if we play defense or play offense. We make mistakes. So like in the third goal, we playing very positive. We try to to score a goal after 2-0, and then we attack, and somehow they can make counter attack, and third goal happens. So that's like you said before, the risk is very high, and we cannot defense like that. Even though we play defense, Japan's will punish us too. So it's not the way. Or Coach Shin, I'm happy Coach Shin not play defensive. Even though when we defense we play 5-4-1, but I think the way we play is good. But our clinical again and again, cliche again and again, we have problem in that. But the way we play, especially with Kevin Dix in his debut, very well. Especially his first play with Jakob Sauri in the right front, very well. But we lost, like in the first time, we lost in psychology, and we cannot finish our chance. That's the problem.
But lesson learned. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned,
definitely.
yeah.
I think it's lesson learned.
Hard lesson learned.
I don't think anybody comes in and say, "Oh, we're not going to get beaten like 7-0 like China did."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think that's the mindset. I think the mindset is we're going to give them a challenge. And I think if we can draw, that's very good. If we can win, bonus. But that's definitely a lesson to learn. Simple football in the rain, or stop raining a bit.
Yeah, and I think talking about psychology, I don't think we lost in that aspect as much as when I talk to the players. I talk with Nathan, I talk with Justin, I talk with Eliano about how they're gonna face Japan. They all have this mindset of, yeah, sure, they're players playing in the Champions League, but so what? That's what Justin told me. He doesn't really care about all those players that I mentioned to him, the Mitomas, the Kubos, and everyone. I think the mentality from our players is very good right now, but I think just the technical aspect level and the training and all their grassroots development in Japan made them all much better players than us at this moment. And the fact that they played, of course, in the Champions League more game. Our most experienced player in the Champions League has just come in with Dix. 17 appearances in the Champions League, 4 games against Man United and Man City. But if you compare that to how many Champions League experience that the Japanese players have, it's langit dan bumi. It's still too much.
From Nagatomo alone.
From Nagatomo alone.
Who didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play. Yeah, and I think with him, there's a big influence on how the Japanese players, the communication between Moriyasu and all the players in the European players. I think that's the difference right now. Experience at the highest level. Experience that if you make that one mistake, the opposition can brutally make you pay for it. You don't have that luxury of making that loose pass, that loose control of the ball. At this level of football, it's a different ball game than what we know. Maybe we can make a mistake or two if we go up against Thailand or Vietnam, but against Japan, against South Korea, we cannot do that.
And if you look at the bench, alongside Hajime Moriyasu, you have the likes of Nanami, you have Hasebe. That alone is it strikes fear towards the opposite bench, and you have that experience of
World
quality
Cups,
players playing. In World Cups and in the Serie A for Venezia, and again how Makoto Hasebe is a stalwart for Japanese football in that midfield. So a lot of situations where they have to find solutions. Hajime Moriyasu can ask and brain pick a lot of quality influence from his assistants, and this is, I think, again the difference in quality in terms of the coaching staff that Shin Tae-yong has at the moment to help him. So it's not looking very well for Indonesia, bottom of the group standings, Group C, but the results in the other games, it's helping Indonesia. The gap is only 6 for Australia, second place, and we have 3 points at the moment, so it's within a striking distance. And the result for Bahrain, China now with 2 straight wins. All of a sudden, a couple of wins can pop you up in the table. So again, for Indonesia, there is hope with 2 wins potentially that we have to get in the matches against Bahrain and China and possibly a draw against Saudi. This can change the dynamics of the group.
Yeah, especially considering we should have more points in the last round.
Do you think that
if
is
not-
also a situation where it's bothering the players because potentially a victory against Bahrain and
Yeah.
might possibly get a point from China, but then it turns into only a
Yeah,
single
a
point
single
from
point,
the last international break, and it looks like
Yeah.
again it's bothering the
yeah,
squad.
yeah. Of course, you're right because they don't want to say it out loud. But I got the impression when I talked to them, there's something wrong when they talk about the result in the October round. We know that we as a penonton, we saw them and it hurts us. They themselves played, and I bet it hurts them. Justin said there's something missing from that performance in China,
Which Justin?
especially. Justin, of course, Hubner. I talked to Hubner.
Oh,
yeah.
It's more clear.
How many Justins
Yeah.
do you have?
I met Justin Hubner, not the other coach Justin, and I didn't talk about the grass
Coach
over
Justin.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, we have to talk about the grass.
The grass, yeah. Do we have to talk about the grass? No, we don't talk about the grass. But to be fair, the grass is not that bad. I mean, at least from TV. I don't know if the players see it differently
Damage control.
when they're playing it.
But I think it's better than when Japan had
Then
to
when Japan, yeah.
play at the Jalan Besar against Singapore in a
Oh,
World
yeah.
Cup qualifier where they
It's worse.
drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Jalan
worse
Besar
back then.
was
Oh yeah.
horrible with
So,
the
yeah.
artificial grass.
So yeah, 1 point for GBK, right?
Yeah.
One extra point, yeah.
And what do you think about looking forward? Because Saudi, with the turnaround of the game in a very short time, the situation in the locker room. Of course, this is, as a lot of people stated, a calculated loss. But again, a loss is a loss. And if you look at the way the goals went in, so it's not looking very well for Indonesia.
Well, this is a different kind of dynamic with Hervé Renard back at the helm of Saudi Arabia. It's not that plain sailing as they hoped for, because Renard is a big folk hero in Saudi Arabia, especially after that World Cup experience. But I think, this is a different dynamic. Of course, we prefer to go up against Mancini's team compared to Renard's team, because virtually all the players that he knows from the World Cup, and especially that win against Argentina. But I think we showed in Jeddah what we capable of, but then we need to think again about that game when we concede 18 shots to Martin Pass goals, and then he needs to make that penalty save for us to get out with a point. The way the Saudi midfield overran our midfield, especially in the last 15-20 minutes. Yeah, I think that result is a bit flattering for us, considering the performance, especially in the third phase of the game. So a lot of things need to improve, and the way that our opponents are way more clinical to us in the October round, and this game where Japan scored 4 goals from just 7 shots on target, and China scored 2 from just 5 shots on target. That is the level of finishing that we know that the other teams in this round 3 can do, so that we must stop that chances from ever happening in the first place. Yeah.
Is it going to be a new manager bounce, a second coming for Abe Renard? And Abe Renard has shown defensively again, Saudi very solid, making things difficult for Australia. But this is an opportunity for Indonesia to show what we can do. We work hard to get that point in Jeddah, and if we don't get 3 points, maybe this will be a missed opportunity for Pasukan Garuda.
Well, I think, coming in the next match, our mindset should be we have to win it. I mean, it's so hard to hear that we haven't won at all. But I think the mindset should be we should be winning the next match. I'd like to say let's win the next 3 matches, but take it step by step, like I said last time. But yeah, it's not just defensively that Saudi Arabia, when they scored a goal, but it was
disallowed.
Disallowed for offside. I think it was
Offside in the build up to the goal. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not just defensively; they're playing offensively well as well, and I think that midfield's going to be put to test again, where are they going to get stretched again so easily? I think you have to be as disciplined as possible to defend them. They're playing speed as well. So I think, again, coming in, you have to have that mindset of winning. We're bottom of the table. We have to get out of 3 points. And I think when you get those points, it'll, we'll take it step by step, but it'll do us a huge favor in coming in. All of a sudden, we win 3 of that, and then, fourth, that's the hopes. So
just talking about almost getting that victory, trying to get past that finish line.
Yeah. Just the mindset.
Just the mindset.
Just the mindset.
and matches against Saudi in Jeddah, and then the Bahrain situation.
Yeah.
In this level, the elite level of Asian football, you need to have a lot of aspects in reaching that goal. You have to have game management. You have to be smart in your approach, and players has to be ready for 110 minutes maybe of action, because the situation is very fluid. But it seems like we are falling short in every single situation where there is a potential to lock 3 points. And what do we have to do here to claim that all crucial 3 points that can start a good run for Indonesia?
Yeah, well, player can also saying, our mindset is put the levels very high. We don't fear Saudi. We don't fear Japan. We don't fear anybody. The mindset is to win. They can say anything, but what they show on the pitch is, I don't see that. I don't see that play, like you said, organization in midfield. I don't say that we won the midfield battle. I don't see that we won the final third battle. I don't see any area that we won against Japan. And we face struggling Saudi in Jeddah. And after that, they sack the coach. We don't play really good for the whole match. We play only good in the first half, and then we struggle against struggling Saudi. So we have to clinch. We have to lock the 3 points that we, like Kiko said, we have to start to win. We can say anything. We can blabbering everything here, but unless we score 3 points, we're never going to World Cup. We have to start winning. Okay, we failed today to play and get 3 points. But Saudi, if we play effective, we play. If we want to defend, we defend well. If we want to play positive football, like you said before, we play well. So it's not easy against Saudi because their player is very good. They play in a very high level too. It's not going to easy against us, but they will face our player. That some of player play in Europe also, like Kevin Dix. He's playing the Champions League for Copenhagen, and Jay Itzes play in the Venezia. It's again and again. But what we face today is an error from Jay Itzes that we cannot expect him to do that. With all the respect, he's our leader. He's the player we should looking up for. But okay, player make mistake. It's okay. We have to move on, and then we have to start score a goal. We should start to win a game, because unless we do that, World Cup is like
bye-bye.
Firzi said, start to fading away.
Record-wise, against teams from the West Asia, Indonesia performs a lot better, even qualifying for the last Asia Cup, where we have to play in Kuwait. A great job from the squad. Against Saudi, there is a condition where I think the players feel more confident in having the opportunity to dominate the game, to trying play more aggressive and winning battles across the pitch. What's the approach against Saudi for Shin Tae-yong? Is it the blueprint that we saw against Japan? Is it going to be the formation that he'll use with the 5-4-1 off the ball, and with the players playing Hopner maybe in midfield and Sayuri starting in that right side? And if we lose Kevin Dix for the game against Saudi, who will be the perfect solution in taking his place in that right side of defense?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, Jay, Martin, Coach Shin, and everyone involved need to make sure this doesn't go into a downward momentum. We don't build this negative trend, because they need to pick themselves up. There's 4 days after this game to the Saudi game. it will be hard for them. Yes, the way that the past 3 matches went for them, yeah, starting with the Bahrain game. I think if the Bahrain game we didn't concede in that 90 somewhat minute. I think the whole dynamic of the Chinese game, and then building on that, the whole dynamic also in this game will be a lot different. But I think what's done is done. So going forward, I think we need those big players in the dressing room and those big mentality that they showed at least when they talk to us. They need to show them that they are not affected that much with the defeat. I think the way they approach the game is commendable. I think the way that we took that kickoff at the first with all the players lined up on the edge of on the halfway line, committing to the attack, I think that's good. I think we need to use the power of GBK. I think having 80,000, 78,000 people on your backs, it will be a lot of help to the players. With the supporters, we stay with the team until the end.
It was proven today because after the match, the supporters are still
all singing with watching GKT48.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
They close out the match in style, although in defeat, but GKT48 performed in front of thousands of admiring football fans.
That's fun.
Yeah, we need to get that momentum back, get that feeling of positivity back. Yeah, I think the supporters has a lot of role in this. I think we should stop going to the social media and say what we want to say. I think we just let the players do their jobs, because the Saudi Arabia game, if we do well, I think it will be a great time for the players, because in the March game, our first is an away game to Australia. Yeah, I think go back to the winning ways. I think win however you can. Win ugly. Win through a throw in. Win through an own goal. We don't care. Just
a
take that
or something.
Mother having 3 points. We really need that.
We need to win.
If we play good, that's a bonus, I think.
Yeah.
If we win, let's take it. Yeah, no.
Lastly, for both of you, Kiko and Ali, if you see the condition of the side of the team with the defeat against Japan and Saudi not having Salim Dosari, but still have the likes of Saud and Tambakti and Mokano playing. So again, the roster is quite challenging. What do you guys think about how the match will go for Indonesia and the end result against a Saudi Arabia that is rejuvenated with the arrival of the second coming of Ave Henao?
Well, I'm not following that Saudi Arabia that much because I don't care with Saudi. I'm just care about Indonesia in this qualification. But Saudi, they especially after the rebuild of their league, they play with superstar around Europe, around the world. They play in Saudi. So they like you said, roster is getting better now. Maybe better than the team that beat Argentina in the World Cup. So Saudi, Australia, and Japan is the three team that being a World Cup regular that we have to face. We already faced Japan. We already faced Saudi in their place, in their home. So it's a game that we have to at least we score points. Because we cannot lose another game. We cannot lose another match. We have only lose one game in the last match against Japan in Japan, away Japan.
Oh no! One thing about the way the Saudi rebuilt their leagues, and that's the one thing that Mancini complained after we held them 1-1 in Jeddah. That most of their star players, they don't even have game time on their own leagues. That's the way that's the main complaint of Mancini. How can I make them great if they don't even play in their own leagues, because the arrival of Ronaldo, Mane, and everyone, I think that rebuild has consequences for the national team. So maybe Hervé Renard has that problem also, because I didn't track I haven't tracked the game time of players, but I really hope that's still the case with Renard's team now.
That's why Mancini being sacked.
Too much
He's
excuses.
talked too much.
No, but I think again, the mindset is always when you said something about saying stuff about mindset, about winning and everything, but just don't say anything and have that mindset on the pitch, you know. So I think that's the first key thing to do. Not think about, you know, who's coming in, Ole Romani coming in, you know. Let's work with what we have right now.
Exactly.
Shin Tae-yong has the luxury of trying so many different players. Maybe that's also quite tricky for him as well, because the lineup's ever changing. But I think the lineup today can do it against Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure how Kevin Dix is doing with his injury and how long term it is or how short term it is.
we have to wait.
We'll have to wait for Firzi to say. I've talked with the
Yeah.
players, so
His sources cooking and working.
exactly.
Trying to find out the results of the test on that knee.
So,
But we can waste another opportunity. Clear goal scoring chance. No.
Exactly. No.
We have to finish. We have to,
We have to finish.
punish
That's
opponents.
the key.
Yeah.
Whoever it is in front of the
Whoever
goal,
it is,
in front of the build-up, I think, you know, that's, like I said, I think defense in the midfield, in front of the goal, and rotation of the player as well, like I said.
So we are looking for a reaction from the side from Pasukan Garuda against Saudi Arabia, and we have a lot of confidence in the squad, the players, the coaching staff, and Shin Tae-yong to figure out a way to try and beat Saudi Arabia via working hard, and working very hard starts tomorrow in training, because the Saudis are coming and they have a lot of
Saudis are coming.
Saudis are
And
coming.
you're working hard too, Adi, and you're working hard too.
I just saw.
I'm here, man, enjoying,
I just saw
duties
this.
everywhere.
I just saw this guy on TV. And
Yeah, that's Adi for you.
That's
He's
Adi.
That's like
everywhere.
magic. I have a door that can teleport
Doraemon.
me
Doraemon,
from, one place to another. So what's important is how you react. And Indonesia has the opportunity to claim all 3 points against Saudi Arabia. A massive chance playing again in front of the special crowd, special supporters in the Gelora Bung Karno. And we hope for the best. The turnaround is so short for the team. And in a couple of days, let's just hope the result is positive. A win for us is crucial in trying to climb up the situation here. Is not helping in the table so far. So hopefully Shin Tae-yong and Indonesia can get 3 points against Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much, guys, for hanging with us. And it's been a pleasure, guys, having you in the studio.
Yeah.
We will, of course, be back next week. And there is a situation that hopefully Indonesia will win. And we have a better,
happier,
Finger
better,
crossed.
happier, and upbeat situation here in the studio. So Adian is signing off, and see you guys next week.